The themes of light and dark, of fighting back, of what are your values, all these kinds of themes that have permeated the Star Wars universe seem particularly relevant right now. Is that something that you've been thinking about in the lead up to Rise of Skywalker? Was that something that you were thinking of when you were making it?
Sure. I mean, I feel like the thing about Star Wars is that it lets you tell a story that is relevant, even though it takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. No one wants to see something that doesn't feel like it has relevance. So obviously everyone has to deconstruct and interpret things as they do. But Star Wars has always been a story about good versus evil. It's always been a story about fighting an oppressive regime, fighting for freedom. And my favorite thing about this one is that it's about a group of friends together on this adventure. Like, you get to see them on this crazy, thrilling adventure together and not split up. So I'm really excited about that. I had known Carrie for a number of years prior to working with her. And when we started working together on The Force Awakens, I think it was a bit of a challenge because she was playing a character that she had not played in a long time. And it took a little bit of time to for her to find the rhythm and be comfortable with it. And then she did. And we just had a great time working together. And, the story she would tell, her spirit, her sense of humor, which was like no one else's, her free associative brilliance, I mean, she was just the greatest. And we started working on the story for this film, Rise of Skywalker. We knew there was no way to tell the end of the Skywalker saga without Leia. And we knew we would not recast. We knew we would not use a CG character. And we looked at footage that we had from Force Awakens and realized there were a handful of scenes that we had never used. Which, of course, at the time, made me miserable because I thought, we got to use all these scenes with Carrie. But then I suddenly realized, oh my God, thank God we didn't use these scenes because now we can use them and repurpose them. So we wrote scenes around her moments, her shots, her dialogue. So Carrie's now in this movie in a way that it's unbelievable because she's there. And I still working on the film in the editing room. Weirdly, I find it harder to believe now that she's gone because she's just so present and alive in the film.
The double lightsaber you got to do as well. Okay. Playing with light and dark, how fun has that been?
It's been great. I also think it's weirdly the most human thing because you're like, everybody struggles. Like, everybody has their things of like, one thing's pulling me this way, one thing's pulling me this way. What's this journey going to be, and where am I going to end up? So it's fun to play that.
Physically having Carrie Fisher with you for this movie, but everyone has said how much of her spirit that you really felt. Tell me more about that.
I mean, I got, some emotional scenes to do with her. And it's just weird. Like, it's weird that the stuff that we did 4 years ago is so pertinent to the story now. It's so strange. And obviously JJ told the story that she wrote in her book to JJ, who put up with me twice. So it's so strange. He only worked with her once. So the whole thing feels quite like destiny and all that sort of stuff, and I think she'd be thrilled.
So headed into Rise of Skywalker, I feel like we all want to know more about Finn, about his backstory. Are we going to get the payoff?
We're going to get bits. We're going to get little sprinkles like chocolate chips. But what we have to deal with right now is this new enemy. And why is Rey dressed like that? I mean, who decided her wardrobe?
Right?
Yeah, loads of questions, and Finn is fully involved in that, which is great.
So he's playing with light and dark as well, or is that?
I mean, he likes to turn on the light and turn it off. It depends on the day, but read into that how you will. But I think he's an establishment of a guy who's always been struggling with his position in all of this, and now he's pretty much on that side of the resistance.
What's it been like being a part of this universe, bringing this new element into Star Wars?
It's been cool because I realized 2 movies down that the whole reason why they had me take this part was because there must have been something that I did in the audition that portrayed this character to them in a way that was, it was cool, it was interesting. And to have that as something to make you confident, for me, I just feel like I appreciate all of it. Like I really feel like I'm connected to this role, I'm connected to this person. And to see him go, I'm a bit sad, but things must move on.
Zori, we don't know a ton about her. We don't know if she is on the dark side, or elaborate, please.
Well, I think what we can elaborate is just that she has a little bit of a checkered past and maybe some questionable morals, but really she's an old friend of Poe's, and I think the entrance of Zori is there to sort of describe more of who he was. And, you know, in a very intimate way and familiar way, and the friends are sort of like, what do you mean you know him?
Like a friend, like friends.
Yeah, it's complicated. You know, it's complicated.
Yeah.
But also, I think what's amazing with Zori too is you get to kind of also hear a bit of what it is like to not be someone that's necessarily right in the
Right,
fight between
right.
either on the First Order or in the Resistance,
It fills
but
in the
living in the
blanks.
universe. You know, like these are the people that all this stuff is affecting.
What can you tell us about who you play? Yes. What side does she fall on? Yeah. What can you tell us?
She is this fierce, strong, powerful woman. She is skillful.
With a lightsaber, maybe?
With a bow and arrow.
Oh.
Space one. Because that's extra special. It's a space bow and arrow, people. Yeah. And she can ride this creature called an Orback, and she, you know, she's spent years pulling that together to potentially fight for what is right. Maybe. Who knows?
When you walk on
Just like a slow look into the camera.
your last day on set, closing out the Skywalker era, I want to say, of Star Wars. What was that like?
It was difficult not to tear up a bit, partly because JJ said some really nice things, and all the crew were listening and watching, and I have to admit it was an emotional moment. But I knew it was coming. It wasn't even a scene in which I said anything. For once, 3PO was in a scene without butting in. But I felt it's such a terrific movie that I felt it was okay to say goodbye. I feel satisfied with this one. I have something to be proud of, that, you know, as I say goodbye.
Totally.
Yeah.